सभापतित्व धारण गरिदिनु हुन म रेड अस्की नेपाली सोसाइटीका प्रेसिडेन्ट गेन्द्र केसीज्यूलाई हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्दछु। गेन्द्रज्यू, Gendra Kesiju. Likewise, I would like to request our guest of honor, Ambassador retired Scott Dillisi, to take the chair of the guest today. Hello, अलिकति यहाँ गेस्ट आउँदै हुनुहुन्छ र अलिकति अगाडि यहाँ अलिकति स्कला शान्त गरिदिनु होला। ल सबैजना पछाडिबाट साथीभाइहरू अगाडि आइदिनु होला, अगाडि आइदिनु होला। गेन्द्रजी, भाइहरू अगाडि अगाडि धुवाइदिने, अगाडि बसिदिने र यहाँ अलिकति डिस्टर्ब नगरिदिनु होला। यतातिर यहाँ कार्यक्रम हाम्रो भइरहेछ। हेलो, it's great honor for Nepali society. Please welcome him with a big clap. Scott Dillisi, who run a Survey Foundation, an organization that is working for Nepal, and he has done a lot of things for the improvement of the lives of Nepalese people. I would like to invite him here to speak some words, to give us some knowledge about the post-earthquake condition of Nepal, and to speak about what he has done so far and what he is planning to do. Here, Scott Dillisi.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Namaste. And how are all of you today? I cannot tell you what a great honor and a great pleasure it is to be here with you to celebrate New Year. You know, 6 years ago, I arrived in Nepal to take up my duties as American ambassador on New Year's Day, 6 years back. And it is so good to celebrate another New Year with the warmth and the hospitality of the Nepali community. And to have a chance to come to Texas was especially sweet because my son happens to live here as well. So it gave me a chance to come and visit him. But today, it gave him a chance to see a little bit of the Nepal that I came to know and love, not only as ambassador, but 34 years ago, I began my engagement with Nepal. I was a young Foreign Service officer in India, and I traveled to Nepal. And I said, oh, this country is very different from India. And it was. And then a few years later, I was the Nepal desk officer in Washington, looking after Nepali issues in the State Department. And I had a chance once again to go visit Nepal, and I said, oh yes, this country is very different than any other place I had served. And my wife and I then had that chance to go as ambassador. And I have to tell you, your mother nation, because this is also your nation, we share two nations now, but your mother nation did capture our hearts. And it brought a passion to our lives for Nepal. And I will tell you that throughout the United States, for so many years, people I meet who know Nepal, who've had any exposure to this country, fall in love. And I don't know why that is, but I'll tell you what part of it is. I know it's a beautiful country, absolutely, gorgeous. Whether it's the high mountains, or I can still picture the mustard fields in bloom in the Terai with the blue skies and the mountains behind them. Beautiful images. But it's not the beauty that brought people to love Nepal. And I know it's got full of rich cultural diversity. All you have to do is look around at this gathering. And we know the richness of that culture. Many languages, many different ethnic groups, many different views of the world, many different dimensions of culture. But each one is unique and rich and so empowering for those of us who have the chance to experience it, to see the richness that Nepal has to offer. So that's important too. But at the end of the day, what is it that brings us back to Nepal? It's all of you. It's the people of Nepal. And there is something that is special about the people of this nation. There is a decency, a gentleness, a tolerance, a compassion, a resilience that is incredible. So I was just in Nepal for 2 weeks, and I had a chance to see what was going on the ground, and I worried. I had been in Uganda at the time, ambassador to Uganda when the earthquake hit. And I remember watching those images on TV and thinking, oh my God, poor Nepal. Poor Nepal. I'm so worried what is happening. But I will tell you, we know there was great tragedy. We know there was great loss of life. Beautiful buildings. Part of the heritage was lost. But I will tell you, there is so much that remains, so much that is strong, so much that is good. And what we saw in particular, still helping each other and caring for each other. And what struck me most as I talked to people was listening to them saying thank you to me. And by extension, thank you to all of you, to everyone in this nation who cared about Nepal, who wanted to help, who reached out. And that thanks was so heartfelt and so sincere, I was humbled. And it caused me to just want to rededicate my efforts to helping Nepal, which is what I'm doing these days. I'll tell you about that in a minute. But what I will tell you is, while I was there, I had a chance to talk with some journalists about some of the things we were doing. And I asked them to come back and write about Nepal. But the story is not a story about poor Nepal, poor victim Nepal, poor tragic Nepal. It's a story of hope. It's a story of resilience. It's a story about building the future. Because that's what we have to do, and that's what the people of Nepal clearly were prepared to do. Even though there are challenges, we know government doesn't always act as quickly as we'd like. We know there are issues. I'm not going to belabor all the political issues and all the rest. We know it's not easy, but it can be done. But here's the thing. We have to help. We have to empower people. We have to show them that they can do this. They can take it on themselves and not wait for government, not wait for donors, not wait for a magic wand. And people are determined to make that difference and build that future. And that's what we want to help see happen. And that's what we're doing. So that's what I'm doing these days. So I was really very appreciative of the fact that I was asked to come down to share in this celebration, to have some good Nepali food. Very good Nepali food, thank you. I enjoyed that more than others. And also, I've enjoyed meeting so many people here today. But let me tell you just a little bit about what I'm doing then, right now. Because like the Nepali people, and I consider myself to be maybe a little bit Nepali inside.
Good, good.
We need your help. We do. We have to make a difference. So when I came back from Uganda in September, I retired from the State Department on November 30th. On the 1st of December, I had one day, and I went to work again. And I went to work for the people of Nepal. I joined something called the Sorway Foundation. There's a little bit of information about it here. We are online, www.sorway.org, Facebook.com/sorway.org. Look us up. We're growing, and we're going to continue to grow. The Sorway Foundation has 2 key words: engage Nepal. That's all we do. We don't focus on any other country. I know there's much need in the world, absolutely. There are many issues that any of us could devote ourselves to. And after a life of service in the State Department, you don't walk away from serving. And I did want to serve, but I've chosen. I've had the opportunity now given to me to serve Nepal, and that's the choice that I've made. And that's what I do want to do. So, the Sorway Foundation, let me tell you, was created last April before the earthquake. We were created with the idea of knowing that there was going to be an earthquake. We had to prepare. Risk reduction and preparedness was essential for the future. But about 2 weeks later, the earthquakes hit. Now this is something that I've worked on very much as ambassador, the focus on rebuilding, on building a stronger Nepal, more resilient Nepal. And that remains our mission. But we know now that building a stronger Nepal, stronger, safer, more resilient Nepal isn't just about building a strong house that will withstand an earthquake or a strong school that will keep the children safe. It's about building strong communities. It's about building a strong society. And that includes so many things. And as we seek to do that, we are working with Nepali partners, with those organizations and individuals that are on the ground in Nepal. They don't need a bunch of Americans coming in and saying, we've got all the ideas. The work is already being done. We need to empower the Nepali partners who are working in communities, who have the trust of the communities they serve, who know what is going on. And we're doing that. We're working with a wide range of organizations to help build that stronger, safer, more resilient society, and we're going to do it. But we also know that in addition to taking resources and putting them on the ground in Nepal, be the voice for Nepal in America. During the blockade, how many of you were upset when you heard about the blockade? When you saw the impact of the blockade, people had been disrupted, made so much worse at a time of great need by a blockade that made no sense. We watched at Mighty Nepal. How many of you know Mighty Nepal? The organization fighting trafficking, right? We watched the folks at Mighty Nepal having to feed the kids there with wood fires because there was no cooking gas. We know the challenges that were there, but no one spoke for Nepal. We need to change that. We need the support of the Nepali community. We need you to come together. We need your voices behind us to help us be the advocates for Nepal. We need to be champions for Nepal. It's not enough to care, and I know you all care. But as I told people on my Facebook page yesterday, if everybody who said to us, thank you for the work you're doing, thank you for caring about Nepal, thank you for loving Nepal, keep doing the good work, if every one of those people gave $10, 2 tall lattes at Starbucks, if we got $10 from every one of those people, we'd be in business for the next year. We'd be saving lives and changing lives, which we're already doing, but on a much larger scale. I don't need everyone who is here today to spend every waking minute thinking and worrying about Nepal. That's my job these days. That's what I do. But we do need your support. We need a constituency. Do I want you to give $10, $20, $25? Heck yes, because we want to make this happen. And I'll tell you honestly, I'm not taking pay at the moment. Eventually, I hope to take some pay so that we can continue this. But it's not about pay, it's about making a difference for the people of Nepal. But I need your support to do that. But more than the money, we also just need you to be part of this movement. I need you to like the Sorway Facebook page. I need you to follow it. And when there's an issue and we need people to speak out, we need people to help connect us, people to deliver a message, to write to their congressmen or women. We need your voices. And we can't do that if we don't build an audience. So yeah, I was happy to come down here because it gives me a chance as well to talk to you for a moment about something I feel passionately about. I told someone earlier I'm not much of a fundraiser. Never had to do that as an ambassador, as a diplomat. I had a really good fundraiser then. It was called the Internal Revenue Service. They raised the funds, we spent them. It was always a real good relationship. Today I have to raise funds. But I learned very quickly, as much as I might not like it, I was told you should never be embarrassed to ask for help for a cause you believe in. I believe in Nepal. I believe in what we're doing. I believe we can help the people of Nepal create the future that they could deserve. I think we can change the narrative about Nepal, and it's not a narrative of victimhood, it's a narrative of hope. And ultimately, I believe it can be a narrative of success, and that is what we hope to do. Is I see today so many young people, a lot of kids, so much fun to see the kids. Missing my own grandkids. My wife isn't here because we had our 3rd grandchild born 2 days ago. She decided she'd better stay and help with the other grandchildren and hold that new baby. I had a chance to hold him yesterday, so it's all good. So I was able to come down here and feel okay about it. But I love seeing all these kids. And I love seeing the young men and women because especially for the young people here, I don't know how you identify. I know in Nepal, one of our great challenges in talking to the youth was for them to be able to tell us what it meant to be in Nepali today. The nation is changing. It's changed considerably, and so how did they identify? And I don't know if the young men and women who are here today, do you think of yourselves as Americans, as Nepalis, Nepali Americans? I don't know where your passion lies, but I hope that for those of you who are living in a country that I'm very proud of, I'm proud of what America does, what we stand for, the role we play in the world, but part of who we are in the world. Part of what I did for 34 years was to lead that effort, to make a difference, to give something back. I watched as we saved lives every day, fought HIV, fought malaria, maternal health. We empowered young people, created jobs. That's what we do as a nation. And I would ask you young people, if you care about Nepal, you're the ones we need. We need your energy. We need your passion. And I hope for all of you that you can find those things in your lives that you feel passionately about, because that's what matters. That's what makes the difference. And I hope that you will want to make a difference and be part of this movement to help give Nepal a voice. Because if we don't speak for Nepal, who will? I hope that you will bring your energy and your engagement and your ideas and your innovative, creative thoughts about how to use social media, how to build partnerships, how to make a difference for Nepal, because that's what we need, ladies and gentlemen. So, I hope that we can count on you to spread the word. Tell others. I know there's a huge Nepali community here in Texas. Let Texas lead the way. I hate saying that because I'm a northern boy from Minnesota, but we'll let Texas lead the way and show the other communities what they can do, and we are going to bring all those other communities into this dialogue. We're going to build a better future for Nepal. We're going to make a difference, but we need your help. www.soarway.force, all right? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say again, it is so, for me, it is just so good to be home, and this feels like home. So thank you for inviting me today. Thank you for your attention and your time. Let's build that better future for Nepal. Happy New Year. Thank you all.